Hello knowledge seekers, welcome back. In the last lecture, we studied how publication misconduct can be identified using tools, peer review and editorial checks. But once misconduct is detected, what happens next? Today's session is all about complaints and appeals. The processes that handle allegations of misconduct fairly and transparently. Why complaints and appeals matter in research? Research thrives on trust, but when misconduct is suspected, simply ignoring it can destroy that trust. That's why academic institutions and journals have formal systems for receiving complaints from reviewers, editors, or readers, investigating allegations with fairness, allowing appeals so that accused researchers can defend themselves. This ensures justice for all parties involved. Who can make a complaint? Can everybody make? Here are the steps. A complaint about publication misconduct can come from different sources. Peer reviewers who detect plagiarism or falsified data, journal editors who find suspicious practices, readers or fellow researchers who notice problems after publication, whistleblowers from within the research team. Any complaint must be taken seriously no matter the source. How to handle these complaints? What is the process of handling this complaint? Most institutions and journals follow a step-by-step process of handling these complaints. First one, initial screening. Editors or ethics committee check if the complaint is valid and supported by evidence. Random complaint cannot be taken. Second step, investigation. If a complaint is valid, a detailed inquiry is conducted. This may include plagiarism checks, examining raw data, and interviewing authors also. Decision. If misconduct is proven, actions are taken such as rejection of the paper, retraction of the paper, or disciplinary measures. Communication. The complainant and the accused are informed of the outcome. Finally, after the inquiry is over, transparency is maintained throughout. Whatever is happening, it will be informed to both parties. Of course, sometimes accusations may be false or mistakes may occur. That's why an appeals process is also important. Authors have the right to challenge the decision if they believe it is unfair. After the inquiry, they feel that it is an unfair decision, they can appeal. Appeals are reviewed by an independent panel, often different from the original committee. Evidence and explanations are considered carefully. Final decisions aim to balance fairness with protection of research integrity. This ensures that the process is not one-sided, proper justice is delivered. The possible outcomes of the complaints, as you are aware, depending on the severity, outcomes may include minor corrections for honest mistakes like citation errors, retraction of paper for serious misconduct like plagiarism or falsification, blacklisting authors, preventing future submission to the same journal, they cannot submit any more paper, institutional action including suspension, loss of degree, or job termination. Very, very serious issue. Remember, complaints are not meant to punish unfairly, but to protect the integrity of research. Global guidelines on complaints and appeals. Several international bodies provide guidance. Committee on Publication Ethics Scope provides flowcharts for handling complaints. ICMJE, International Committee of Medical Journal Editors, defines how authorship disputes and appeals should be resolved. National Research Council, most countries have policies for handling misconduct in universities. By following these frameworks, institutions ensure fairness and consistency. Let's consider a real world scenario. A journal receives a complaint that submitted paper contains 40% similarity with another published article. The authors argue that it was accidental because they reused their own earlier text. After investigation, the editorial board concludes it is self-plagiarism. The authors are asked to revise the manuscript with proper citations since it was not intentional fraud. The case ends with a warning, not retraction. This example shows how fair complaint handling can distinguish between misconduct and honest error. I hope you understand. Let's summarize this lecture. Complaints and appeals ensure fairness in handling suspected misconduct. Complaints can come from reviewers, editors, readers, or whistleblowers. The process involves screening, investigation, decision, and communication. Appeals allow accused researchers to defend themselves. Outcomes range from corrections to retractions and institutional action. In our next topic, we'll explore predatory publications, unethical journals that exploit authors for money without proper peer review. Thank you for joining me in this lecture on complaints and appeals. Here is a reflection question for you. Do you think anonymous complaints should be accepted in research misconduct cases, or do they risk being misused? Think about it. Comment your views. I will see you in the next lecture on predatory publications. Till then, bye and see you.